Men.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter Igaga, and the good thing about today is I'm the boldest man on set. So it's a really, really good thing. Now, we are here at Sanga Courts bringing you the best show in the world. And why is that? Because it speaks to men. Men rule the world.
You forgot to say Akwaba.
Getting there. Relax. So, to welcome you to this show today we're going to do it in typical Ghanaian style. And we say, Akwaba. What do we say, guys?
Akwaba.
Let us see.
Akwaba.
What does it mean?
Let us see.
Now, today we are going to talk about something that touches a lot of men personally, and that is career growth. 2026 is here. A lot of you out there want to see how you can move in your career. Maybe you're feeling stuck. You've been doing the same thing for a long time and you're not moving. Something tells me that the problem is not everybody else, it's actually you. Now, to get us started, we're here with a man who, in many circles, needs very little introduction, especially where meat is concerned. He threatens to throw the best barbecue. Why do I say threaten? Because I know I can do a better barbecue than him. It's just going to be a matter of time. Tony, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
We're going to need to have a cook-off, okay? Because I know I can throw down a better barbecue than you.
The next NTV Men should be a cook-off. And by the way, I'm the greatest man as well on the set. So, you know.
Okay. Hey, guys. Wow. 2026 is here. A lot of men struggle with career progression. And some of them are wondering, saying, look, I work hard, but I'm not moving. Now, Tony, you've been through the corporate circles. I mean, your story intrigues a lot of people, including Chris. It has been a story of ups and downs, ups and downs. Now, do you think it is important to suck up to your boss so that you can advance in your career?
Why would anyone want to suck up to their boss? Like, really? I mean, I see a lot of people, making tea for their boss or carrying the boss's bag if she's female, or, trying to make sure, she is or he is praised all the time. I don't think it's necessary. Yeah. You see, the ability for people to see how great you are is in what you do and how you do it. Mm-hmm. That can never be changed. I always tell people you can have so much knowledge, but it's about how effective and action-oriented you are with that knowledge. Yeah. When people see you doing something that is of quality, you are doing your job professionally, integrity is, within your system, you don't have to suck up to anyone. People can see it. So maybe your boss might be that person who's probably very egoistic, that they feel the need to suppress you because you are doing or outperforming them. Yeah. But if you're doing your work well, people see that. You don't need to suck up to anyone.
Okay, this is very interesting. Now, Chris, a lot of great men in the Bible got to where they got to, literally by sucking up. And I'll give you a simple example. I'll give you a simple example. Like Joseph, he was a sucker for his boss, and his boss liked him, and he kept, even when things got wrong, he kept sucking up to his boss. David really tried hard to suck up to Saul, okay? And Saul didn't quite like him when he saw that he was going places. Is the power of promotion in the hands of your supervisor?
So, sorry, just before Chris answers that, I don't know what Bible version you're reading, because I know for sure David was a man of courage, integrity. Of course, he had his issues, right? But Joseph was a man of super integrity. You even recall, integrity and character, by the way, recall when the boss's wife tried to sleep with him and he ran away and she...
Because he was sucking up to the boss.
No, he was standing
for
what he I know, that's what I'm saying. What Bible did he read? But anyway, Chris, over to you.
Joseph feared his boss, didn't he? So much that he was scared of the guy's wife.
Well, Peter, are you a Jehovah's Witness?
Well, I think that wisdom is always in the middle. Wisdom is always in the middle. If you take the route of you don't suck up to anyone, you're self-made, if they don't want you, they can go hang or stuff like that, you miss out on great opportunities. But also, if you are a leech and things like that, you also are a bit too much. And the same people you suck up to will kick you out. I think that wisdom is in the middle, and here's why. In the workspace, one of the things you need to be able to quickly read is what is the culture of the workplace. He was right when he said, you know, you hit all your markers, you're doing your job, you'll always rise. That's in a flat, equal opportunity, Western type of work environment. Right? That works there.
Yeah.
So Chris, you're saying in Uganda this can't happen?
No. Please
go on.
Please not. I have said, I've intentionally called it Western, and I've not said un-Ugandan.
Yeah.
Because there's companies you go into, and that's the culture.
Right.
It's in Uganda or in Africa, Kenya, wherever you are, but that's the culture. The culture in the space is flat. You use first name basis.
Yeah.
You call no one Mr. Doctor, whatever, boss, chairman, AG, or whatever it is. It's first name basis, and it's who you are and what you do that takes you up to the top.
Yeah.
All right. And in fact, in some of those places, they encourage you speaking back, questioning, pushing back.
Yeah.
You're promoted for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then there is other work cultures where
Something tells me those are the majority.
what the boss says goes.
Yeah.
And you quickly figure out that if you go against the boss and you still want to be here, you're going out quick.
Yeah.
Okay? And those are the bossman cultures, if you like. The chief, the boss, you know. And if you live in most countries, at least in Africa, you're going to find those two cultures, at least predominantly. There are some in between, you know, black and white, there's shades of gray.
Yeah.
But that's what you'll find. So I wouldn't want to be here and encourage someone to say, don't suck up. Or suck up. Because you need to be wise. Wisdom is the principal thing.
But now you're
and
sitting
in all
on
you're getting, get understanding. That's what the Bible
But Chris,
teaches.
you're sitting on the fence very
No,
carefully.
Exactly.
No, I'm recommending wisdom.
Yeah.
I'm recommending wisdom because you see, you know, even doctors cannot prescribe medication to anyone who they've not diagnosed. So if you've not done an analysis of where someone is, how dare you sit here and pontificate and say you should do this or should do that when you don't know what the environment and the culture is?
Okay, I'll get back to you in 1 minute about that, because your right-hand man over there is a strong proponent for sucking up. Okay, and he believes in his heart of hearts that the only way forward is just to suck up.
No. There's a difference. You know, sucking up has a very negative connotation surrounding it.
Yeah.
There's something we call managing up. Sucking up is, overt sycophancy, flattery that does not have like an end. Like you're causing up to the boss, you're bringing her tea, you're
laughing at all the jokes.
Shoe. But you know, Chris alluded to, you know, different environments necessitate like different approach of how your career can advance. But I'll start by saying this, that your career development is not a responsibility of where you work or your HR. It is your own responsibility. How you maneuver it is your own prerogative, you understand?
Yeah.
How you advance is your own prerogative. But sucking up is very negative. Like you cannot advocate for sucking up.
But you see, I think probably it's just a matter of the use of the term. And you know, majority of people look at it. I'll give you a simple example, like being the teacher's pet. It really is not a bad thing. There are a lot of advantages to that. Now, the reality is, if you and your boss have a very close relationship, then you will be favored. And that was why I was talking about the biblical example. But there are a lot of people who have benefited from favor.
I think
Allow me to just no. You guys are totally you're advancing a life of mediocrity. This is a life of you know where you're waiting for the door to be open, so you knock it slowly. Some doors have to be kicked. That is how you deal with. I mean, if you're really good and you know what you are about, you don't need to talk about. You know, I need to be my boss's favorite guy to be able to advance or to go on this trip.
Yeah.
Give the boss reason why you need to advance and go on the trip. Let them say it. Now, I know you're saying in some of our societies, it's not possible because we don't, advance meritocracy. The whole merit system is not advanced as many other societies. But sometimes you have to use, beyond wisdom, courage. Because wisdom will tell you, okay, do not talk, sit, do not offend. Courage is saying, but boss, this thing is not working.
You're speaking from a very privileged point of view. You're coming from this Western setup where everything is set, everything is nice. You understand?
But just as you speak on, I just want to say that I didn't say wisdom doesn't have courage as part of the tool.
Okay.
But just carry on. I'll clarify.
Okay, but what I'm saying here is, we need to start having people to understand that they can actually advance even more than their bosses. A lot of the time in our society, and we'll talk about this offset if you recall, most bosses are scared of your light. If you're a great guy, I have a boss who one time told me my personal brand, was affecting the brand of the company. And I asked myself, what exactly is he trying to say? Is he telling me to dim my light?
Yes.
If you told your employee to dim his light, you've in effect said, bro, you are a threat to me.
No, what it was is that you're a capacity level 10 and he was a capacity level 4 and he wanted you to become a 3. So
now let me tell you what advice I was given from an external person.
Yeah.
You need to be nice to your boss.
Yeah.
You need to work around your boss. Man, I was working around my boss by thinking of quitting the job. That was how I was working around him, not to suck up to him. So, sucking up would have meant, oh, boss, man, whatever you need. But some people are built that way. Now, you can imagine ignoring your potential to grow, to become great, to become amazing in this company just because you have to conform to this one individual. I don't think that's a life worth living.
Is conforming such a bad thing?
It is. We are not. Bruce Lee puts it even better. Be like water. If you're in a jug, be the jug. If you're in
talk about the Bruce Lee examples. Bruce Lee died young. It didn't quite work for him.
I use Bruce Lee as a
he was great,
wow.
but the guy who died young. But I'll tell you one thing. Jalu has mentioned something very interesting. He has talked about the ability to not really call it sucking up, but just to be nice to your boss. But why I say he's sugarcoating it is he's talking about being deliberately nice to your boss. So it means you are going out of your way to be that person who is nice to your boss. That's not a bad thing, is it?
You remember offset, we talked about characters, right? That can happen with a person who is overly empathetic, who says, okay, I'll be nice to my boss. But a red like you, there's no way you're going to allow that to happen in your space. You'll be like, but this guy, let's clash, or let's go to, loggerheads. It's possible with different personalities. Not everyone is built the same. If we were built in an ideal world the same, it would mean, Jalwo is my boss. I say, man, bro, I'm sorry about. You even start apologizing for your own. You've come early, but even now start apologizing for coming early. I'm so sorry for coming early. I don't know.
Sorry for being sorry.
So, you understand? Yes, there's being nice, but how much is nice?
Well, I'll tell you what, we need to get into a break, but just before we do, food for thought. And I speak about myself. I think isn't it important to understand your personality, understand the personality of your boss, and then see how to make it work for you? Because if you are trying to outshine your boss, and clearly that was your key, it's going to bring you
I wasn't
problems.
trying to outshine him. But I love what he also said.
One of the rules of power.
Never try. Number one.
Never
try to outshine your master.
We are here at Sanga Courts talking about climbing the corporate ladder, especially for men, because a lot of us out there are under pressure. The women are saying, you're not growing in your job. You're the same kind of guy. What's happening? And yet, you just have a bad relationship with your boss. Don't be like Tony over here. Suck up to your boss and you go places. We'll be right back after the break.
Men. Men.
Welcome back from the break. In case you've just joined us, we are here at Sanga Courts talking about how men can scale the ladder in terms of career. Now, we are having these conversations going on our social pages. Go to our Twitter handle. Some people call it X. I've failed. I've failed. I still call it Twitter.
Move
It
on,
is
Peter. It's
yeah,
X.
It's X.
Yeah.
All right. It is NTV MEN _UG. We want to hear from you. Let's get talking. Like our page, follow us, and probably, if you're that kind of person who talks sense, we'll follow you back. Now, guys, I want to flip this a little bit. Now, it's very easy when you are on the lower rank to point fingers upwards. It's very, very easy. Now, all of us here are leaders in our own right. That's the interesting thing. Now, as a leader, as a boss, do you want your people
To suck up.
I don't want to call it sucking up because that doesn't sound too good, but yeah, but you want, I mean, come on, it feels good when your people talk. Look even at our politicians.
Can I,
Peter.
can I want someone that I'm trying to lead towards my direction to align with my vision, to align with my goals, you understand? So to a certain degree, I want you to suck up.
No, I find that
Like I have a goal, and you're telling me I'm proven. I know that this is the route, and you're telling me that this is the other route.
Yeah. So I agree with that part. I have a bit of a problem using the word suck up still. Because it sort of puts a spin that's unintended for this.
Yeah.
So I like to deconstruct things and simplify them. So someone envisaged a certain product or service that is of value to people, and you found a business standing because someone has made it work. They have vision, they've got values, they've got a culture that they've built that has worked for them. And you are employed to come and support this work to help it move forward. Because here's what you'll find. There's some organizations you go and they say these are our values and there are 15 things, and that's not really what it is. Yeah. There are things that here, this is how we operate. We're on time, we're excellent, we push for the last mile, stuff like that. Those are the real values.
Yeah.
All right, the stuff that gets you fired or promoted.
Yeah.
So those values are what form the culture of that organization, right? So you'll find people keep on hiring new staff members who fit that profile, and they keep on firing whoever doesn't fit that profile. It's a culture, the value sets, the values. Yeah. So every company or organization has got a subculture. Yeah. And it's important to lean into that. So that's one. The second is that and two things here, because part of what I am is I'm a Maxwell leadership coach. And John Maxwell wrote a really great book that I'd like to recommend. It's called 360 Degree Leadership. It's excellent because he shows you how to lead upwards, which is what he's calling managing up. How to lead up. How to lead at your level with the peers and how to lead down.
That's right.
It's a really great book. Now, in leading up, one of the things that is really critical, number one, is do your job, which is what he's saying, because no boss wants to have someone you're making me tea, but you're not doing what you're supposed to do. I'm not interested.
But Chris, can I just interject there just for 1 second? Realistically, all of us have worked with people who, for lack of a better term, can only be described as mandazi, okay? But they keep growing. They have a great relationship with their bosses, and there's this energy they are able to, wherever they go, they can weave their way through.
But Peter, you're going to find that either that company doesn't go far.
These are really big companies.
No. I'm telling you, either the company doesn't go far, or they find a way of easing them out, or number three is they are there not for the job they hold. There's something else exactly they bring.
Exactly. Actually, let me just jump in here. You see, it's like having a car, and my end point is Lira in the north, but one of the tires is 50%. With pressure at 50% capacity. I will get to Lira, yes, but I won't get to Lira at the set time or the speed that I would want or the pace that I would want to. So that person is that flat tire or half-filled tire moving us to Lira. We will get there, but we won't get there properly. Now, I just wanted to speak about the culture element that he talked about. I see culture differently. Culture for me is what one famous writer said, the feeling that you have on a Sunday evening when you know tomorrow is Monday morning. Well, you know, your stomach, the feeling in your stomach, you're like, tomorrow is Monday. This boss called Chris. That is culture.
Chris, you're that kind of...
And you see, culture is... No. I'm saying, but if you get what I'm saying, that is, for me, culture. The essence of how do I feel when I'm getting into this company tomorrow? And how do I feel and energized in doing what I have to do? That's number one about culture. The second one that I think about, and this, Chris, you'll resonate with me when we are talking about, Jaluo said, if a guy is growing in my path, he has to suck up to me in a way, so it is my vision and vision.
It's my vision.
The story of David in the Bible is a fantastic one. He arrives at the battlefront, and his brothers, who he had been sent to check on and whatever, are busy having a conversation of, man, it's a stalemate. So they tell him, we ask, what's going on, guys? You know, there's a huge giant called Goliath, man. There's no way you can put him out. So there's no one in our team who can go and take this guy out. David goes to the boss of his brothers, the king, not his boss, the boss of his brothers, and says, boss, me, I want to do things my way. Because remember, the king had given him his armor and everything, and it was so heavy, the sword. I don't know if you've seen, by the way, these swords, the Roman swords. Go to any of these museums. Yeah. They are so heavy. He couldn't do that. All he wanted was just a few pebbles and his sling. And he managed to put down the giant. This is David, who is not going according to the vision of his boss, because the vision of his boss was wear my armor, have that, and go and sling. Especially if you're dealing with young people who have different amazing ideas. Hold on. Of how to execute. Go ground. Yes.
Go groundy.
Wait, just let
because you see, what I'm saying is, especially in today's world where you're dealing with a lot of Gen Zs, you know, we millennials are built different. You're dealing with Gen Zs who have different ways of doing things, shortcutting to actually create efficiency. If you come and say my way or the highway, that won't work. Those were our days.
But Tony, you're actually not talking vision. You are talking tactic. So there is vision, there is strategy. So vision is, we want the nation of Israel to stand. This is a king's vision, strong nation. Strategy is, this is how we want to go about the battle and things like that. The Philistines are here, the rules are being set. Whoever wins, the champion who wins on this other side is going to take it.
Yeah.
The tactics were the problem. He's got sword, javelin, and things like that. These guys have also got sword, javelin, and it's a stalemate. So what David brought in is a different tactic. But just the thing I wanted
to different say, strategy too.
Yeah. So the thing I wanted to say here is this, is that he still was honorable. And it's the thing I wanted to say, which is that when you carry a culture of honor, you fit everywhere. Because you are not gullible, right? But you're also not aggressive. Yeah, you are an assertive person, and it's important because I know some people who are just rebels. They say, I don't suck up. I don't. No one rules me.
True.
He can relate to that.
I'm telling you, you're useless. Because no one wants to deal with a rebel. I think there's a guy called Franklin Graham. He wrote a book, Rebel Without a Cause. Sometimes it's good to be a rebel, to be different, but with a cause. So what wraps it nicely, whether you want to be different or contribute differently, is that you carry a culture of honor, where you are able to recognize the contributions of others, right? But respectfully be able to contribute with who you are.
Yeah.
And I find that when you carry that into any space, it gives you room. If you honor your boss, you get a bit of wiggling space to innovate and create.
True.
Right?
Now, this is what I was talking about even before. You remember when I talked about the whole idea of self-awareness? It comes from a point of maturity because you have to be self-aware. If I'm self-aware and I know my boss Jalu a hard-headed guy,
suck-up man.
a suck-up man. I know how to deal with Jaluo because I will go and actually give Jaluo his best bottle of something and say, boss, this is for the weekend, and Jaluo will give me my favors.
But that is sucking
But,
up.
no. That is
tactic.
managing up.
That is tactic.
That's tactic. Okay, let me try. and
Okay,
explain.
that is
I
tactic.
want to talk about grounding, and so many of us, I've in all the spaces that I've occupied over the years, I've always been the rebel guy. From school
haven't changed.
to different workspaces. And I've noticed something that you gave an example of. Like, you are that guy who's always like, who does not, suck up. But you meet a Gen Z who comes in with Mandazi brain, and the next thing, they're your bosses.
They're your boss.
They're your bosses. These scenarios are real.
Yes, it is.
So, like he alluded to, environments matter. The different circumstances. Like, if you understand, in my environment, I have to suck up. Why not, my guy?
if it's what is needed.
If it will elevate me.
I'll tell you. I come from the school of thought that the end justifies the means. Now, I think we need to be prudent, and I like the words that you've used, especially an example of David, because to me, David in the Bible is his story is one of a man who achieved a lot, but a man who was also a man.
He was wise.
Yes, but he was also, reason why I say he was just a man, he was human.
Yeah.
He had flaws, okay, and was very open about them, okay. He made a lot of mistakes, and was also, but I think one of his greatest assets was he was able to quickly course correct. Now, David had more than one. There was a time when Saul wanted to kill him, and he was done with him because and the main reason why Saul wanted to kill him was David was outshining his boss.
Yeah.
It was as simple as that.
And the women, the girls on the street were singing this song.
Yes.
Saying the king has killed 1,000, but David 10,000.
Yeah.
And eventually he left the company, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes, he
owned his own
had to.
company, right?
Yeah.
He had to.
You know.
So
Because they wanted to kill him.
No, but I totally get it. You see, let me tell you something. I mean, if you think about history and you think about most people who have actually ascended on that ladder, you have people like Goebbels, who was always around Hitler. He would praise Hitler even for his haircut. Okay? And that's how he actually went up.
Yeah.
Then you had, of course, people like Bob Assols with Idi Amin.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you are the...
His
you
skin
are
was
the...
not
You're the
white.
king.
You see, you are the leader of all beasts on earth. You are the life
I think he's the one who gave him that idea. Of
yeah, you're VC and all of that.
VC.
But you see, again, these guys rose, but genuinely in a work situation. Does that have to be the case?
But you know that
Because you see,
Bob
work
Assols was
is
in a work situation. It's
okay.
a national work situation.
But you see, now this is again where we get back to the issues of competences and really trying to see, do we have the right people on the bus? Ray Dalio has a fantastic book called Principles, and it talks about, number one, getting the right people on the bus. You talked about culture and how people recruit.
Yeah.
You might be super intelligent, but if you have poor work ethics and you're not a team player, I don't need you on my team.
But you see, those are values.
But now for Jaluo, I think if number one is sucking up, you will be
No. I'm not telling you to just
We need
You have to
to
value,
get
my
ready
guy.
to
You have
go
to
into the
have
break.
character.
But just before we go into the break, I need to ask all of us one question here. As leaders, do you think it's necessary to have a snitch? One who tells you everything that's going on.
It depends on the culture.
I'll be
you're
honest
in.
with you.
but-
Already as a boss, you're a failure. Because that means that your levels of trust in your organization and yourself are so poor.
You have a
You are
toxic culture.
Not only that, you're a toxic boss. Because why should you have people snitching for you?
Because there are always those things that are happening. You need to know. First
You're
of
not
all,
operating a government that has to have a spy system. You know? So what's going against
still
you?
part of
It's like having your
leadership.
ISO
That's
within your
incompetence,
organization.
by the way.
We'll get back to that. It's a very necessary part of leadership.
it's
You need
incompetency.
information, you need intelligence. You have to know what's going on. And the larger the organization, the more intelligence you need to run it. Because your biggest problem is not outside, it's always inside. Now, we are here at Sanga Courts having a conversation about climbing the corporate ladder. Are you a man out there who believes that you could be doing better, but the only reason is somehow your boss is not noticing you? But there's also somebody else on the side whose job is just always be in the boss's ear and tell them what they need to hear. Maybe you need to become that person. We'll be right back after the break.
Men. Men.
Welcome back from the break. We're here at Sanga Courts having a conversation about climbing the corporate ladder. It's getting hot in here, but if you've just joined us, all I can say is Akwaba, which means welcome. Now, guys, I believe, I like what Jaluo said about being on the ground. On the ground is a completely different thing.
Different story, my guy.
A completely different story. Having intelligence as a leader, I believe, is a strength. And I'll give you a simple example. All of us at our workplaces are part of a WhatsApp work group, right? There's always another group outside the group. That's just the way it is, okay? And as a leader, your team has their own WhatsApp group. That's just the way it is. Now, you need somebody who's going to be in that group to be telling you what's going on.
So Peter,
you have that WhatsApp group?
I have many things to say. But I might sound like a broken record here, but I really think that one needs to give thought on the culture of honor and read books. There's quite a number of books on honor as a culture and a thing. Because what the culture of honor is also a culture of loyalty, right? So the best way to manage an environment is not to have someone telling on others, but to have everybody agreeing on a certain way they behave, so they are the ones that kick out the guy who is off, right? So instead of having a snitch, you have a team working a certain way so that the wrong element is kicked out, right? So you want people to be loyal to the vision. Many years ago, I was a national hand washing coordinator in Uganda. Of course, that doesn't, for many people, it's like, what do you mean hand washing? What's that? Like, that's your job. Back then, it wasn't understood. After COVID, we all understand what the hand washing was.
Yeah.
But I remember we had Unilever as one of the, what do they call them? Donors or,
Supporters.
Supporting the project, the national project. And I went to Athens for a global Unilever meeting, right? Lifebuoy was the brand that was supporting the campaign here in East Africa. I was working with the World Bank, so that's how come I get in there. But so I get into this Unilever environment. Those guys, they live and breathe Unilever. Now, I was having a conversation, and I don't know what it was about. I mentioned a product by Colgate Palmolive.
Yeah.
I was almost eaten alive. Yeah. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Isn't that a product? They're like, no, here, what you said this other product instead of that one.
Yeah.
Because they were so sold to the Unilever world, their soaps, their paste, their everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so you sort of want to get people to buy in. It's like how when you meet people who work for Microsoft versus those who work for Apple.
Yeah, they can kill each other.
They're so sold on what they do. They don't suck up. They believe. They're believers in the vision, the culture, the strategy, the how you go about the approach, the problem they're solving, and how you go about it. Yeah. Right? So I believe that what you need to do, and I do tell this to coaching clients, because I do business growth coaching, it's like you want to get your people to believe in the thing, right? Because if you don't believe in the thing we're doing, go somewhere else where you actually are a firm believer, right?
Yeah.
Because if you don't believe, why are you here?
And actually, in addition to believing in that, people mimic their bosses, just like how we mimic our parents, you know? If your boss is a distinguished guy, acts distinguished, does stuff, why should you be otherwise? Now, in a normal work ground, you've noticed that some offices are actually open space offices, meaning it's an open culture. Then the open door policy as well, you know? Let the smallest or the lowest of the guys be able to walk into the CEO's office. Not this whole thing of locking yourself in your SC
That
office,
open door
and then
have a different
opinion
about open door policy.
and then Peter Snitch comes in to say, bro,
Yeah, boss.
what will it do? What will it do to the ground? You understand? Yeah. So the whole idea of work culture comes from the fundamentals of trust. If you don't have an open and trusting system as the core foundation of your organization, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
You won't do magic because, I mean, have you watched Formula One? Who watches Formula One?
Yes.
Formula One is such an amazing sport. I mean, many people think it's just about cars going round in rotation.
It's a
but
discipline.
It's about strategy. And if the guy who is meant to put off the tire does it 1 second or 2 seconds slow,
Mess up
It's not-
everybody.
he messes everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if a guy comes in that bad snitchy mood and puts up that car in a lazy way, everything goes down.
Yeah.
Now, you are the boss, you're like the team principal. What you have to do is to make sure that everyone is aligned to your strategy and to the goals of the organization. Meaning, we have to be open and trusting. No time for snitches. In fact, snitches should be burnt alive.
Gosh,
for lack of a
that's a
better
lot.
word. But
Yeah.
if you want to have 100% excellence in your business or your organization, you should be able to have an open and trusting culture.
Yeah, but isn't trust? But as a leader, don't you want your people? You've talked about mimicking. To okay, snitching is part of it. If something is going wrong,
Yeah.
should at least there be that one person who can come and whisper in your ear and tell you, know what, boss? The way I see it, we're in trouble because this is what is happening.
No.
Why isn't that said in
In a meeting, you know, I like what Ray Dalio does at his business. What they do is they have cameras, just like these ones here, in a meeting, recording people in that meeting, and after that, there are hard truths that are said within the meeting, so that there's nothing that goes out of the meeting where I'm saying,
No corridor talk.
but Peter should have supported me, but also didn't like it. No, you say it there and then, and these conversations are reviewed, because what that does is that it makes me trust you, Peter, and we can go out to do magic. But if I can't trust you, and then I'm thinking, Chris is going to snitch on me.
But guys, are you trying to say we have never been in meetings where we sit, we have a pre-meeting, we say, guys, we are not unhappy about ABCD, we're going to have a word with the boss, and we're like, yes, who's leading us? Chris. Yes, Chris, you're going to go there. We sit in the meeting with the boss, Chris has his ideas, then all of a sudden, he's on his own.
So Peter, it's like you're asking us, have you ever sinned? Yes, we've all sinned. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. In other words, we've all been in those environments where you've been left hung to dry, or you are the quiet one. Like you all had a game plan, but man, you know, so you chicken out. All of us have been there. But I don't think that one good makes one bad, you know, adding one bad thing on top of another makes it good. It doesn't. Yeah. I think that, and there is this book, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, where there's sort of 5 layers, right? That for a team to work well, teams that have mistrust, and if you notice, Tony has been really banging on it.
Yeah.
If there is no trust, a team can't operate well. And that's the first layer. So how do you build trust? One of the things you do is hear people's stories. We had a bit of time offset. When I got to hear his story, I like him. Like I've had him on Twitter Spaces.
But I don't have money though, you know.
No. It's not money.
Don't suck up to me, man.
No. I didn't say I found out how much money you have.
Right.
I had your story.
Right.
Your story is authentic, and I like it, so I trust you, because I trust you more today than before we ever met, because I had your story. Now I trust you.
He's built a character.
Now, yes. So then what happens after that is that then you're able to have conflict.
Yeah.
When there is no healthy conflict in a team, people don't say what they mean.
Yeah.
So one of the things that makes NTV Men great is we're able to fight and fight fair.
Yeah.
If I don't agree with you, I don't agree with
And
you.
it's okay, yeah.
I'm not your enemy. It's just that I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay? So after there is healthy conflict, that then builds room for people to start contributing.
Yes.
Weighing in on what should be done, all right? And then after that, there is buy-in to the decisions that have been made. And so there's accountability.
Yeah.
And it's only after that that you then get results on the top of the pyramid. All right. So I believe that some of the things that people do, snitching, sucking up, or these kinds of things, is you're trying to get to the top to please the boss without necessarily going through the what makes business work, what makes church work. Every organization, whether you're talking church, business, home, family, you need to have
to
that.
lay your way out.
You know, this is super amazing. In fact, just quickly in 1 minute, it reminds me of actually how groups form. You know, when we meet the first time, everyone is nice and lovey-dovey. Oh, hi, Peter. Peter's a nice guy. Oh, Chris. Then the second phase is we start having issues where, we're storming. Where, man, this guy is a crap guy. But after that, we realize, you know what, guys? We have a bigger mission.
Yes.
I don't care about where you're coming from, whatever, let's work together. And then we start performing, doing magic.
Yeah.
And once you start performing, everything is amazing. And again, like naturally, like anything, we get back into it. If you bring in another guy, you start afresh. And then, and that is normal.
But, Chris has mentioned something very interesting about family. Now, even within family, as a parent, there's always a snitch. There's always a snitch. But there's that kid who tells you everything that's going on. Okay.
Right.
And by default, you gravitate towards that kid because you know. I was going to say a terrible word, but these little MFs, are always up to something.
No, your question was different earlier on. You said that should you
you're changing my question.
Should you impose or should you put a snitch?
No. I said, do you need a snitch?
Do you need a snitch?
Yes. And I think you do. But anyway, guys, we are running out of time. We do need to wrap up. So, Jalo, your parting shot.
My parting shot. Build character, build value. Don't suck up. If you build value, you'll stand out. Sucking up doesn't have longevity to it. At the end of the day, people will discover that you're not a lawyer. Remember the lawyer guy? They will discover that you're not a doctor. At the end of the day, just build your value. If you're that good, someone will point you out and you'll be elevated.
All right. Chris, your parting
I think that it's important for everyone to really investigate a culture of honor. Honor is humble.
Honor the Jews.
No.
That's
Honorable.
true.
A culture of honor.
true.
Yeah. So honor, not wanna, like honor. A culture of honor. Honor is humble. Honor is generous. When you have a culture of honor, you do your job, right? You're not depending on favors outside that to get you there. Honor recognizes the value of the people who have set up the business or the organization, and you know that you're riding on their hard work. So you honor them, you recognize them, you value them, and you recognize and honor your peers and all that. I think that if I were to just boil this whole thing down to one thing, whether you're working in a business or you're in government or you are in a church space or ministry space, wherever you are, or even in family, if you are an honorable person, you always rise to the top. It's what happened with David, with all these great men, whether you're talking Bible or even our present day. Just be a person of honor. You'll always go up.
Cool. Tony,
Okay, I think, and again, mine, I'm really going to speak to the camera because it's really about three things. Number one, hard work. Number two, integrity. And the third most important thing is knowing what to do and when. Just being, prepared. Yeah. Always being prepared. Now, one thing that makes people think they can just rise by knowing or having someone, gamba nogu or whatever is, they always assume that someone will push them up. But the truth is, it has to come from you. It has to come from within. Excellence has to start with you.
Yeah.
And people see excellence. People know and can actually assess excellence. So be that person. I think rising in a corporate situation would be really easy if you espouse those three things.
Thanks. All right.
I have to ground you on. There's a ground is.
All right. What is it in 1 second?
Ground is very simple.
Yeah.
Understand the spaces you're in.
Yeah.
Yes, you've built your value and you're not rising up.
Yeah.
And you have understood that, you know what, if I bring tea regularly, I will be elevated. Do it, my guy.
I like this guy's way of thinking. It works. It works. Because I'll tell you one thing.
That's
Ladies and
that's
gentlemen.
honor, by the way.
At the end of the day, pick your fights and pick your fights well. I always tell people, you are not the one who employed your boss. There's somebody, it doesn't matter whether you think your boss is a mandazi person or whatever, that's your opinion. There's somebody who thought your boss was right to be your boss. And if I were you, make sure you have a very, 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 very good relationship with your boss, because your boss can either make your life hard or make your life easy. The choice is yours. Have a good night. Take care of yourself. God bless. And we will see you next week on Men.